Well, hey everybody, it's the first day of September 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. A happy Labor Day. My husband, I've been married to him for 46 years. He calls it Memorial Day and Memorial Day Labor Day. He knows he's wrong, but he thinks he's funny. He can call it whatever he wants. I don't care. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a rune from the Elder Futhark back. Ooh, haven't had this in a while. Gebo. Now, Gebo is the seventh rune of the Elder Futhark. 7 is about balance and observation and stuff like that. Well, so is Gebo. Gebo's the gift, a gift of reciprocity. It's balanced energy exchange with others. It's Isa, crossed. It's also, you can also see Kenez here. In all directions. So it's expressing the light of balance and partnership and reciprocity outward to all. So it's an interesting rune. You can see it in Dagaz. You can see it in Othala. But again, it's that gift of integration and reciprocity and partnership, and it can also indicate marriage. But it's this link that we share with one another and that we express from the center outward in all directions. So something to do with keeping your energy balanced with others maybe today. You know, especially if you're getting together on a holiday. You know how holidays can be. So the Geomancy rune is going to be, let's see, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it'll be critical to do that because the Geomancy rune today is Carcer. Where is Carcer? It looks like a little ampule or a little bird cage. Here we go. Its opposite is Conjunctio. There you would be in alignment with Conjunctio because Conjunctio is union or joining. But Carcer would be self-imprisonment, remaining imprisoned by ideas and perspectives. Sometimes when we get together with others on a holiday, it just seems to be the moment where everything comes out, you know, and especially if you're irritated at a family member or a friend or a neighbor or whatever. And so because ideology seems to be so polarized right now, and you know, maybe it always has. It's been maybe more subtle with most people, and then of course you had some that just, you know, blurted out whatever, but that would make people angry and would start arguments. But the idea of Carcer, it's thought to be a negative or even evil rune in the Geomancy set, and basically, if you're being imprisoned by the self, then you're being imprisoned by the ego. And if it's about ideology, perspective, beliefs, all of that, then this could be a moment where remaining really balanced with people, if you're going to an event or a get-together where people are coming over or whatever today, if you're not working, you're going to want to understand that people, if you have a diverse group of people, we'll say it that way, there will be people that will not agree with you about certain beliefs, political or otherwise, and they're going to see it in a way that just is opposite, and there's not going to be any integration. And so stay in your bubble. Don't, you know, if you're one of those people that is given to getting into it with people and unafraid to do that, which, you know, can happen, then you might you might want to think about it and maybe be a little more reserved. Now, on the other side of the equation, if you have people that are there that are given to saying things that are controversial these days, depending on which side of the fence you're on, then you're going to have to take the high road in terms of the balanced energy exchange with other people, and try to find common ground where you can and let go of the rest. That's how I would probably, given what today is, I would say that's going to be your best bet here. I'm going to cut the deck and take the lower half. Take 3 cards. So we have 1 from Cups, 1 from Swords, and 1 from Wands. And we have the Knight of Cups, the 5 of the 5 of Swords, and where there's an argument. And then the coming together in common ground with the 4 of Wands, which shows a marriage. So kind of in sync, the Knight of Cups offering, some love and compassion and support amidst change that could be happening. But let's go ahead and do the numerology. So Geba was a 7. There's nothing for the Knight. 5, that's 12, and 4, that's 16. 6 and 1 is 7. So again, trying to remain in some kind of balance today. I'm going to try to make this a short reading because I think it's pretty easy. Instead of offering conflict, you might want to consider, again, taking the high road and today, and offering love and support and compassion and understanding from people. The Knight of Cups is romantic and chivalrous, passionate. He's a visionary. He has a sense of arrival about him, like, I'm here to help, I'm here to support, I'm here to love, I'm here to cherish everyone and to understand people's perspectives, understand without getting into fisticuffs, However, we have here with the 5 of Swords. Swords is the air element, so it's about communication, intellect, and reason, and balance, and legal matters, and let's see, truth versus deception. Here we have a guy picking up, he's got 2 swords over his shoulder, he's picking up another one, 2 more are left on the ground. So there's either the implication that there are 2 more people we don't see that belong to each one of those swords, or there were just some extra ones there on the battlefield. But here you see the sketchy grayish brown clouds that are dissipating. So it tells you that the battle is over, the argument is over. Here you have in the 5 of Wands, you'll see 5 guys together, each holding a staff, and they're expressing their ideas. But nobody's listening to one another. It looks like they're trying to hit one another, but if you look closely, I don't see any connection between the wand, or the staff, and someone's head or whatever, or body. So I think it's just a lot of, without expression, without any real connection there, or integration, or listening to other people. But here, something's happened, and there's been an argument. There's been a disagreement of some kind of battle. Of intellect, maybe. You see one guy here next to the water that is not completely smooth. You see the dual line here that separates what's happening behind and what's happening here. And so it could have something to do with whatever is in the background here. Maybe about home, who knows? I don't see any, I see just little mountains here. I don't see any castles or anything like that. But at least the emotions of it, even though this is an air element card, you're still going to have a lot of different, you'll have all 3 or all 4 rather of the elements within a card, or 3 additional ones in addition to the actual air element here. So you could see earth and water and fire in here, potentially in any card of the air element. And so, but in this case, you see that it's still very emotional because the water's not smooth behind here. You've got one guy holding his head. He's upset. The other guy appears to be taking a step toward. He's walking away, and then he turns and looks at this guy here, and he's taking a step toward the guy to make sure he's okay. 5 is about change. It's also about protection, innovation, variety. and but mostly about change and protection. Those would be the two strongest ones. And so something has really significantly happened. And you could put this card first and with the knight in between, where he comes in and says, well, you know, we need to have a little more understanding about people and the individual differences that we have. The kindest thing I can say about Carcer would be hanging on to individual differences, and your own in particular. And so if we started with the 5, then something's happened where maybe you're together with people today and a fight breaks out or an argument breaks out, and it's significant. It impacts everybody there. It's upsetting. And so the knight comes in, shows up, and is there to try to heal things, sees the tension, experiences all of it, and says, you know what, I'm giving you this cup in offering, so an offer of understanding and love and compassion, and that can then lead to some kind of coming back together. Here you have the 4 of Wands, where we're seeing essentially a marriage happening, a wedding. You can get into the more esoteric side of this and say, as soon as each one balanced their polarity within, they were able to come together in Gebo, because if you were to look overhead, like with a drone, you had a drone picture, this would be crossed. Those garlands would be crossed up there. With this one going to this one and all of it. Anyway, so you have some Gebo here. The 4 of Wands expresses Gebo, the balanced energy exchange, balanced polarities coming together in unity to create a new foundation. 4 is about foundation and structure and grounding and practicality and diligence. It's a very earthy type of a so see again, just the number 4 is earthy in a card of elemental fire here with Wands. You also see the house behind, which is a castle, and that physical structure would also be earth. But then you see some blue here, with emotions wedded with fire here, with will, if you will, so you see other elements. That's what I'm talking about before when I said that there's other elements within a particular suit. In this case, it's the wands and it's the fire element. So you'll see others there too. Earth and water are there as well. You could go interactions would be air. So there you have. I think with an overall numerology of 7 and the idea, which we also had on Thursday, the numerology for that reading was also, last Thursday was also 7. The idea of coming together in balance, to observe without reacting, to understand everything before you react, and to really consider what you have to say, particularly if you're dealing with somebody who is stuck in their own perceptions, their own little bubble, and can't see the bigger picture. 7 is also about letting things settle. It's the scales, and it's letting things settle out and balance out to then understand what the whole picture is. It's like if you watch that Gold Rush show, they weigh their gold at the end of the show, right? Each one. And so they're wanting to see what it is. What did it all settle out to be? And how much money did they make? It's that sort of sitting back and observing and waiting to see what you actually have, to see what you're actually dealing with. And in the end, when you do, it's easier, I think, to come together with people, because you're seeing the areas that you can make progress in with somebody, and others where you just can't. And so you just leave it alone. You know, you're not coming together today if you're in a having a party or a get together or barbecue or whatever. You're not doing that to change people's minds. You're just there to come and get together and find out what's going on in people's lives, how many kids have been born, how old they all are, what grade in school they're at. You know how that is. You're just catching up with people that maybe you haven't seen in a little while. and just kicking back and just relaxing and having a good time. Carcer would imply that there's going to be somebody's going to do something, and it's going to try to impact all of that because they're really, really full of their own beliefs and their own perceptions, and it's just like it's bursting from the scene, trying to get out of the bubble that they're in so they can express it to everybody, right? And the problem with that is you've got to express Gebo in moments like that, because this is not the scene, this is not the venue for that sort of experience. So if you're going to get together with people today, stay balanced. Excuse me. We still have a lot of smoke in our area. That fire's not out yet. But I don't think it's going to burn down the town of Sisters. At least it doesn't look like it at this point. So that's a plus. Or any of those really cool homes out there. But anyway, you cannot express Gebo if somebody is constantly poking at you with their, with ideas that are upsetting to you, because trust me, we're really, really polarized. And to think that a gathering's going to happen and have all like-minded people, well, it might if it's intentional, but if it's just family and friends and all the people you've known, just a block party even, you're going to have a lot of different people with lots of individual differences potentially there, which could spill over into, the nice, fun time you're trying to have. And if that's the case, someone could come in, or maybe that's you, that's going to say, look, let's just try to be understanding and loving and just have some fun. Let's just keep things light today. And then in that process, maybe you'll be the catalyst to bring everybody together and to calm things down and bring together the emotion and the will in a way that's more balanced and happy and celebratory than it might otherwise have been. So anyhow, that's it. That's it for today. Have a good day, and try to, especially if you're getting together with people. And come back again on Thursday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.